Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Patrick Starrr MAC 5th collection. I got it all, well, not all, but most of it. I got lips, I got 2 lips, a gloss, I got the, oh my god, pigment, I got both of the palettes, I got the giant skin finish, and I even got the powder. Even though I really want a second one because I've been testing it out for a couple days and I really like it. Especially since I've been overdoing it with the moisturizing products because I was really dry and now I'm starting to get combo because I'm starting to get oily here and here. So the Patrick's powder is a lifesaver. So I'm going to be doing 2 looks. I'm going to be doing a look with the Smoky Slay, which is this palette, and then I'm going to be doing a look with the Oh Holy Eyes, which is this palette. So please stay tuned, everyone.
Alright, as you see, I have my base on, so I'm going to dig into the Patrick's powder and the mineralized skin finish. So I'm just going to put some in the top of this, and I'm not going to bake because I am a dry person and it doesn't take much for me to become dry. So I'm just going to lightly dust this in my T-zone just so that way I can get like the nice matte, so that way my nose doesn't become a fucking, excuse my language, a mess, because it tends to do that. And then of course I'm going to set my eyes with it, because I always set my eyes with setting powder. Ooh, I just love how that just like smooths everything out, like everything. Like this powder does such wonderful things, and I heard that they're possibly making it permanent, so this should last me a while. Trust me, I thought about getting a second one, but I was like, that's not fair because other people need to get it too, especially if they don't have it or didn't get it the first time, which I did not get it the first time. So I only bought the one because there are rumors that they are going to make it permanent. So if you didn't get it this time around, you will definitely get it whenever they come out with it permanently. If not, I'm not 100% sure, but the last time I was on Sephora's website, they restocked it. But that was a couple days ago, so it could have changed by now. Alright, so we're all set. I even used all the powder that was put in the lid. I don't use the puff because I don't use the matting powder all over my face, just, you know, T-zone and eyelids, because if you start out with matte, they'll blend really nice. So this is me just trying to make sure I got all the excess off, and it literally like smoothed out my face. So I really like it for that reason. Now taking the skin finish, it is my skin tone, like, and then if you shear it out, it literally becomes like my skin tone, as you can see. So what I did was I just took and tapped off and just kind of went around where I didn't set with the other stuff, just to make sure that it was set. And it kind of gives me a little bit more color, because sometimes I end up getting a a concealer that's a little too light for my skin. So what I like to do is just to kind of bring the color a little bit back into my face, even though it's not like bronzing my face, like that's all I do, just to make it look like my skin is a little normal. So after you're done with that and your skin isn't as tacky, which it's not, I just try and do this with the brush and just kind of go all over, just all over, just to make sure like I can get everything, just to make sure it's not tacky or anything. And voila. Now, for my moisturizer today, I tried something a little bit different. Instead of doing my Tatcha water cream or my silk cream, I went with the Too Cool for School Cocoa Ceramide mask. So far, I like it. It hasn't given me any, like, disgustingness on my face. And it's really tacky after you let it dry on your face, so ta-da. That's all I do with my face. Now, with the same brush and my Evan setting spray, after I get my base down, I like to set it so that way I'm not powdery. But what I do is I spray the top of the brush and kind of just roll it around and just kind of tap a little bit onto the skin, because for some reason whenever I spray it directly on the skin, it gets very tacky. So I'm probably wetting my skin too much, and I just need it to kind of help it melt everything, like so. And that keeps everything still tacky and still in place, but it kind of gave it more of a smooth effect. So that was the face-based stuff. I'm going to go off camera and finish the blush, and then I will be using this as the highlight, so I will show you that whenever I get back on camera. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to put the skin finish on. My face doesn't look as textured as it usually does, but I also use lighter amounts of foundation. So I just go in like this, picks up pretty well on the brush, tap it off, and I go light-handed because it's about my foundation shade whenever it's blended out, but I have a feeling if I pack it up enough, it's going to end up giving me a cast. Just a little bit of a cast. Sorry, I'm having like a little bit of a cake problem right there. So just... Now my favorite combination, and I'll show you what my favorite combination is, but this is what it looks like. But as soon as you turn, like, I have a cast, as you can see. So I'll show you what I like to do for all my pale skin girls out there that got this. Hoping it would be a good universal shade, but just a little too dark. But what I like to do, I like to take Jeffree Star's Wet Dream and just put a good amount, maybe one more swipe. See, tap. Then I just like to go over it ever so lightly, just ever so lightly. Still doesn't get rid of the cast, but probably if I try and blend it in with each other, it will. And just do a little swipe up top, bring it down and around. And that kind of got rid of the cast, but then it gives you this really nice power. But now that's usually the combination I do for this, so when I come back, I'll be getting into Oh Holy Eyes.
Alright guys, starting off with Oh Holy Eyes, I am going to dip into the nice nudie shade right here next to the nice pink shade, and we're just gonna put that into the crease. This video is going to be a little bit longer because I don't know. Just dipped into the wrong shade. Story of my life. But I wish they would have had the names at least on the back. Like, they don't have the shade names on them at all. So after you get that nude shade, which blends into my skin, I took the more grayer shade. I just added that. Now, so far, I've really enjoyed having my makeup channel, but to be honest, guys, there's one thing that's been like really frustrating me, and I know I should take it with a grain of salt because the people that leave hate comments, they don't actually know me as a person. But it's just kind of bullcrap. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you. Like, you don't see me coming onto your page and leaving some shitty things on your page. So, plain and simple, if you don't know me and you don't like my stuff, just don't even bother watching. Now, if you like my stuff, leave a very positive comment, because that's all I ask for, is some positivity from everyone. Because no one wants to be hated on at all. So, after that gray shade, dipping into the very dark shade, just putting that on the outer V. Tis a very pigmented shade. And then just bring it up and in. I don't think I've seen any patchiness with these, especially with doing the other eye off camera. Just to give you an idea of what this look will look like. But I like these lashes. They're very, very natural looking. These are in Short and Sweet from the Velour No Trim lashes. So just a little bit more. Then into the crease. Just kind of blend it out. Blend up, and then take in the big fluffy brush, just kind of seamlessly go around it. Like so. It will look better here in a minute, but taking my concealer brush, where'd my concealer go? Taking the concealer brush, dipping in once because you don't need too much. I'm going to half cut crease this. Take it back. Taking it back as far as you can, and then taking that fluffy brush that has the product on it, just kind of tapping on the edge of it with the excess to like blend it a little bit, and then taking the flat brush and seeing that people think it's disgusting that I use my mouth, I'm going to spray it with my setting spray, like so. Dipping into the pink shade, this shade right here. Dipping into that pink shade. Fair warning, there's probably going to be fallout because it is a very soft shade. I'm putting that on the outer V right here, like so. Make sure you do some tapping motions, like some light swipe motions, just so that way it's not as gritty. I learned that the hard way with the other eye because it kind of looked a little gritty there for a hot second. Okay. That's what the pink shade looks like. You can kind of see it over here. It's more of like a coppery pink, but apples to oranges right now. Just trying to give it a little more pigment, like so. Now taking my pencil brush and dipping into the really dark shade, just tapping that on the outer portion, just to darken it up and give it a good blend. And just kind of bring it up, bring it out. Like so. And then taking your fluffy brush, just kind of blend it. And then blend out this little V shape that it was starting to make, like so. So it kind of gives you that smoky look, which for some reason this side is not taking to my brow bone. If you can't see that, like in person it just won't take, but on camera it's taking. So I don't know. So I'm just gonna try and much better. All right. Much better. And just kind of cleaning up your little brow arch, because I don't usually put anything there, but some people like to. Okay, so now taking the other side of that flat brush, which is this side, taking that nice yellowy gold, just tap into it twice, and wha-bam, pigment like nothing other. So bringing it down to the corner, but not fully, because we're going to put the Jeffree Star Wet Dream in the corner. So, I'm sorry. I know you guys don't like whenever I lick my brush, but I need to, just to get the pigment that I want for the inner portion of the eye, because it's just not popping like this side is. Now it is though. So once you're done with that, taking your flat brush, well, a different pointed brush, and a lighter highlight, which I'm using Jeffree Star's Wet Dream. You can use whatever you have on you, or if you're dark enough, you can use the Mineralized Skin Finished Wet. Like so. Okay, so after that, and your inner corner is done, like so. Just take your other pointed brush that you used for your outer V, and mix the dark shade and the gray shade, just to give it a nice little blended gradient. And start smoking it on the lower lash. What I like to do is bring it up into it, because then sometimes you can get whatever patchiness, like from like your eye creasing, like so. And voila, that is what the eye looks like. I am going to go put a pair of lashes on and do my mascara, and I will be back to put Spank Me Santa and Twerk for Gifts on. Alright, this is the final look. As you can see, it's very bronzy, very gold, very simple. And then I'm going to put Spank Me Santa on. Whoa, okay. This It's a lot darker than I thought it was. But see if we can touch it up a little bit. Yeah. Alright, so this is Spank Me Santa. It actually goes with this eye look really well. Kind of matches that pinky copper that was in that. Yeah. Pinky copper that was in the palette. And then this is Twerk Fergus. And then that is Spank Me Santa with Twerk for Gifts over top of it. Which, it's cute, but I'd probably just stop at the lipstick and then wear this separate, like, with a very lighter look than this. I got eyeshadow on my shirt. I'm dirty. I'm sorry. But, alright, moving on to the next look, which I will be using Smoky Slay and the Oh My God It's Gold. No. Yeah, Oh My God It's Gold pigment. So stay tuned. Alright guys, this is what the last eye look looks like. Where did I set it? Okay. Sorry, I have like really dry skin on my lips. But starting out with the Smoky Slay palette, dip into that nice little purpley color. Got like sparkles all over this. But just put this in the crease. As you can see, I accidentally started doing that while I was off camera. The one thing I will say about both of these palettes, you really gotta freaking work with them or else you are going to look like a mess. Because let me tell you, I've been sitting off camera for the past 20 minutes just trying to blend out this upper part. And it has been a pain in my ass. But from what I can tell, the only shades so far that I have had trouble, like real trouble with, is the shade that I'm using currently. This one, it went on this side a little bit patchy in the outer V. It doesn't seem to be doing it on this side. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing it on this side, so it might have just been like a sticky part on my eyelid. But these are not beginner friendly palettes. I'm just going to throw that out there. So if like you never used makeup, these are not it. Like, it's still, I would say it's still good quality dipping into this darker shade right here. Like, I'd still say they're really good quality for what they are, but they're just, some of the shades are just a little harder to work with. And blending, like blending takes forever with these. Blending takes forever with these. Like, it's just a little too much. Maybe it's just me, because like, see, it won't grab like right there. No matter how much I pack on, it just won't grab right there. So it's just one of those things where you're just gonna have to like fake it till you make it. So like, take your pencil brush that you're using and just kind of tap right over it to give you that look of like it isn't patchy, like so. Just trying to make sure I can get these blended right, because this one took forever to blend, And then this one, it just, like, see how it just doesn't want to, like, seam out? Actually, that looks a little bit better. Anyway, taking my big brush, where's my big brush? I'm just gonna kind of go over the brow bone with this, because I know how it likes to go up that high. That looks so much better. Jesus. What the hell was I doing? I don't know. Like, I still think the blendability is a little off, and it's a tinge patchy. Like, just ever so slightly patchy. So I'm going to clean up that wing just to lower it a little bit, like so. And that's it for the crease. So I did not cut the crease. What I did was I took the pigment and oh my god, it's gold, and I put it in the cap. I don't know if you can see it or if it's just too bright, like too bright. But it's right there. I just put whatever was on top of the cap and I just put it on the brush, and I kind of like took off a little bit, because the more you put on, the chunkier the lid is going to look. The less you put on, the smoother it will go on. And then of course I sprayed it, because I don't think licking a loose pigment would be a good idea. But as soon as you, like I said, the less you put on, the less chunky it's going to be. As you can see, it went on very smooth. So then I just dipped in again while my brush was still wet. Started to kind of like carve out where my crease would be, because I wanted to see how this pigment would perform without concealer. And I do say use these wet, because I've used them dry and there's just hella fallout. There you go. Like so. And this actually went on smoother than this side did. But this one had a chance to like dry and, you know, do its thing. So just kind of going over it like so, just to make sure there's no chunked up pigment. You have your lid shade, and oh my god, it's gold. Now taking your pointy brush and dipping into that dark shade that you used, just kind of deepen up that edge, like so. And that gives you a nice little gradient effect, like over here. And then taking that same shade, actually, that's not what I did. Okay, wow, way to catch myself. Now taking a different pointy brush and wetting it and dipping into the silver, I just put the silver shade on the inner corner. Don't wet this brush. So wetting it a little bit more gives you that. And then what I did was I took it up and in to kind of blend the two together, and just clean up the inner part. And that's what I did on this side as well, like so. And then taking my favorite brush, this one, wetting it, I dipped into the green shade, like so. And I put this on the lower lash line. And if you really want it to pop, you definitely want it to be wet, like so. Even though I can't see it because of my lashes, but up close people will see it, for real. Sorry, this side I didn't take down as low as the other side. And like so. I put the green shade on the lower lash line just for a little pop of color, just a little. Now take that same pencil brush that you used to blend, just bring it out and bring it down into like the top corner of that green shade. Ugh. What the fuck is going on? Right. Alright, there's that, and then I'm just going to try and blend it out a little bit more again. Apparently it just doesn't wanna blend like everything else. So lightly just trying to blend that shade out, and then taking that fluffy brush, just trying to blend the colors together. Like so. And just cleaning it up a little bit. So disappointed with how, like, the blending. I'm just so disappointed because, like, it looks good once it's all said and done, but it takes a lot of freaking work. So I'm gonna go off camera, do my lashes and mascara, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. The only lip I have left is Sleigh Ride, which is in that matte red brown. This is a good holiday red color. Ugh, Jesus. Before I just get too carried away and start screwing everything up. Alright, good enough. So, this is Sleigh Ride, which I really like. This is beautiful. But, okay. Final thoughts. So, palettes. Let's start with palettes. If I can get them open. Okay, palettes. Oh Holy Eyes. Smoky Sleigh. They take a while to blend out. Like, they take a really long time to blend out. It's just how the story goes. It's just how it ends. And whenever you blend it out, it doesn't blend out right. Like, I'm not saying it's patchy. It just might be how, like, I set my eyes or something. I will be using these again in the future, but probably not as often as I would use, like, the Alien palette or, like with these shades. If I just keep the shimmer shades, like the green and the silver, which were really good, I can find these shades in the Alien palette. These, I probably have 5 or 6 palettes with the matte shades in it, and the shimmers were really good. So, matte blending takes a really long time. Shimmers were fine. They do have fallout, though. But I will be using these again just because I own them. Okay, moving on. Let's do...
let's do the loose pigment. While I try and get some of the pigment back into the thing without getting it everywhere. Alright, the loose pigment, and oh my god, it's gold. That's what the shade looks like. And it's on my lid. Pretty shade. I like it. The less you use, the smoother it will go on your eye. Remember that. Make sure you wet it too, because I think whenever I use Kishmiss dry, it just kind of like sat on the eye and I had fallout everywhere. Yeah. So this was a hit. Probably, I do want to get Twinkling Lights, because that was a really pretty like warm gold. This is kind of like a cool tone gold, like a dirty gold. Lips. The matte formula is really great. Spank Me Santa was a good color, and Sleigh Ride is a really good color. I'm not a huge fan of the lip glosses just because they are a thicker formula, but this will look really good by itself. It will just give you like that nice little sheen that you need, especially if you're having a more natural day. This ain't natural though. This is kind of like, bam, I'm here. Merry Christmas. I'm just so disappointed in... I will admit, I was really disappointed in the matte shades in the palettes. Because they just take forever to blend, and like in person they don't look patchy, but for some reason, like if I do this in the camera, they come off patchy, so I'm not really sure. Alright. For anyone that is my shade or lighter, you are going to have to pair this with a lighter highlight. It's beautiful for like my skin tone, because it comes off as my skin tone because it's still on right here once it's like blend out and just pat it on. But if you want to highlight, it's dark. Like, it is dark. So I like to pair it with Wet Dreams by Jeffree Star. Another good one, if you have the Hot Tryst palette by NARS, that like white pinky shade, that would be a really good shade to top it off with. But after you top it, kind of take your finger and like mix them together lightly, so that way you don't get your cast. And this is what they look like mixed together. So I would say this is a hit. I just wish it was like a teeny bit lighter. Just a little bit, just a little. The powder, I really like. It doesn't really give me cake face, but I also haven't said it yet. But it doesn't give me cake face. I really like how it sits on my skin, and it kind of keeps my nose under control, because I know for a while there I was dry, especially at my nose and like my chin. But now, since I've been like upping the amount of moisturizer I've been using and using like moisturizing masks, I've been becoming a little bit more combo, which I'm not complaining, because that's a little more what's the word, it's a little more controllable than being all dry or all oily. So out of everything, basically everything was a hit except for the matte shades in the palette. Other than that, I will be reaching for everything again, even the palettes, even though I wasn't a fan. Maybe it's just how I set my makeup, but I will be trying it a couple other ways, just so I can tell you guys if like you can fix it or not. Thank you for watching my channel. I hope you comment, I hope you like and subscribe, and have a wonderful night, because I gotta go to work in 2 hours. Bye guys.